Welcome to Savor with Wine and Cheese virtual grand tasting. My name is Danny Giddings. I'm with Classic Wine Imports of Martignetti Companies, and I'm going to walk you through 5 different wines that we've chosen. In terms of a theme, what I really went for was old world. I'm going to use quotations because, well, the majority of these are old world. 2 are from California, but what they really are doing is striving for old world style and kind of classic representations of that style. Without further ado, let's start. I'm going to start with Domaine de Beaumard. And now, Domaine de Beaumard, its history goes back to 1634, family estate, still family owned and operated. It wasn't until the mid-50s that Jean Beaumard really put Beaumard on the map in terms of their iconic status as a winemaker. You know, world famous Court de Charme, and also their Chenin Blanc from Sauvigniers is some of the best I've ever tried. And just a really, really beautiful, beautiful wine. This is their La Calèche. This is a Chenin Blanc Chardonnay blend. All stainless steel, as all of their wines from Beaumard are. This is beautiful, lovely pear and peach notes. It's a dry white wine. It's got balanced acidity and structure. And really what I think all of their wines do, they show a great sense of place and purpose and precise focus in their wine. And this is the La Calèche. So next up, we're going to go to California. We're going to go to Napa Valley for Trefethen Family Vineyards Chardonnay. Now the Trefethen story, which is one of my favorites in California, you know, they started in the late 60s when Eugene and Catherine Trefethen decided to retire, and they bought land in Napa Valley. And you know, then there was only maybe 20 wineries operating, and it wasn't necessarily as profitable as it is today. You know, obviously the judgment of 76 happens, and you know, kind of puts California on the international wine radar. But if you look at Trefethen, you know, their purpose was always to grow grapes. But their son, John Trefethen, he had different plans. He was down there fiddling and making wine in the late 60s, early 70s. And, you know, pretty fruitless in the beginning, I think. But eventually, 73, with the help of his, you know, then you know, newly appointed bride, Janet Trefethen, they made their first commercial wine with Trefethen Chardonnay. Flash forward to 1979, their 76 Chardonnay won the best Chardonnay in the world at the World Wine Olympics. I love their style. I think it's really a homage to classic Chardonnay and a great representation of the grape. So this is their Chardonnay. It's all estate grown. It's from the Oak Knoll district in Napa. There's a very minimal amount of malolactic fermentation, about 4%. It does see 9 months in oak, but only 13% new. And that oak really just serves for structure, not for flavor. This isn't your oaky, buttery California Chardonnay. This is really about the grape. I get these great lemon and lime notes on my nose, and then you've got great ripe apple. There's this vibrant acidity in this wine, and then you get that subtle toasted oak, but it really frames all that citrus, fruit, and acid, and I think adds a lot of texture and structure to this wine. Yeah, and that's Trefethen Chardonnay. Next up, we're going to go to Provence, more specifically Côte de Provence, for Chateau Minuti, the M de Minuti. So when we talk Provence, I mean, Provence is the oldest wine producing region in all of France. I mean, I think it's 2,600 years that they've been making wine. And Minuti is in the Côte de Provence, which is also one of the largest in all of Provence. And their dedication in Provence is 88% rosé. So you're talking about a region that really is dedicated to the production of rosé. And Minuti is the global leader when it comes to Côte de Provence. Still family owned. They're in their 3rd generation of family owned. I just think this is a beautiful rosé, really light colored and bright. It's Grenache Cinsault. It's all stainless steel. It's really fresh. There's these great little candied orange and violet notes I get from it. And that's Chateau M de Minuti. We're going to go to Minatou Salon. And this is J.D. Villebois. This is his Minatou Salon Rouge, so 100% Pinot Noir. This is a dry style. You know, you get a slight little bit of oak in there, but overall, this is a really dry style. It's really fresh. It's really what you would expect from Loire Valley Pinot. again, I get these great violet notes from that, and dark cherry, but the tannins are really firm, but they're really soft at the same time. It's a really easy drinking wine. I know this is one of Kathleen's favorites too. I think she has a bottle or two every now and then, and I'm always happy to pour that one at a tasting. Next up, we're gonna do the Donati Family Vineyards Claret. Now, claret is a term that they used back to the 1600s in England, where they would be describing a Bordeaux style wine, typically something lighter in style but of good quality. And there's not many vineyards that I know in California that use that term. Here and there. Donati Family Vineyards, while kind of young in terms of some of these wines we talked about, going 1998, Ron Donati started this, and this is in Piscines AVA, which is Central Coast. You think about 30 miles west of Monterey and a little south of Santa Cruz. Beautiful little AVA right there. They've got great elevation. They go up to 1,500 feet. They've got a really nice little microclimate, a cooler climate, probably what they would call like a climate 2. And this is their claret. So Bordeaux style blend, Cab Merlot, Cab Franc, Petit Verdot. And this is going to see oak. They do 23 months and a blend of French, American, and Russian oak even, and very minimal amounts of new oak. So a lot of this is passed over oak, and it's not trying to add oak notes to it. It's just there to give it structure and kind of round the wine out. And this wine is always a fan favorite. I poured this at Savor a couple of times. You get these great mocha notes and blackberry, but there's like this underlying little spice to it that's never really like springs forward and takes over the palate, but it's kind of there. It's a killer food wine. One of my favorites, and kind of we always look for these kind of hidden gems in the portfolio and I certainly do when I'm bringing wine to Kathleen and then in turn to you, and these are a handful of them, and I hope you enjoy. I want to thank Kathleen and everyone at Savor for giving us this opportunity and being creative and thinking of ways to really engage with their customers in these trying times. And with that being said, I mean, all the text sheets will be available online. There'll be food pairings as well, and if you have any questions, you're in good hands with Kathleen. So, and that's all I got. Have a great day. Thank you.